Hi everyone, I'm Donnalouise and welcome to my YouTube channel for the love of puzzles. I'm filming this, what day is it? I think August 19th right now. So I leave in less than a month to go to the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships in Spain. So I have some notes here. I have like 4 pages of notes, so I'll just keep them here to keep track of everything that I have to talk about because this is another speed puzzling compilation video for you all. So at the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships, I'll be competing in the individual event, which will be 500-piece Ravensburger puzzles. Then I do the pairs with Jeanette from Jeanette and Her Puzzles, and if we make it to the finals, we actually have to do a 1,000-piece Ravensburger jigsaw puzzle. And then we team up with Jigsaw Juby, and Vicky makes it and builds for the team event. And in that case, you're given like 4 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzles, and then you have to pick 2 of the 4 to do. So I've been practicing a lot, individual and pairs as well with Alison. So the first 3 jigsaw puzzles I'm going to show you are all ones, 500 pieces that I did individually. Quite different from one another. So the first one here is called Beautiful View, and it just says that it's from Dorr. It's a photograph, not my style of jigsaw puzzle, very, scenic. Lots of blue, lots of sky, lots of water, lots of greenery. But I thought this would be good to practice. Put that right there. The next one is called Balloon Party. Yeah. Okay. I'm giving out spoilers just by how I'm talking about these jigsaw puzzles. And this one just says it's from, I'm going to mispronounce this, I'm sorry, Tierfotoagentur. Tierfotoagentur. Again, a photograph. Let's see. Photograph, blurry parts, and animal fur. Oh, gee, just the 3 things that I love. So there was this one. And then finally, the last one that I did was called Sunday Ballet. And this one is an illustration, and it just says it's from ArtWorld, licensed by MGL. So there you go. These 3 little puzzles that I did on my own. Now, looking at these 3 right away, I classified one as that I thought would be the easiest. One would be kind of medium, and one would be really hard. Again, in the individual event, we're given 90 minutes to finish a 500-piece jigsaw puzzle. So how about we watch the time lapse for all 3? During the voiceover, I'll talk about my thought process and what I tried to do or should have done maybe differently, and then we'll come back and see how I did. So I basically tried to sort as much as possible. There were so many different shades of blue for the sky and the water, the darker pieces representing like the trees, and at the bottom of the picture, that bottom area was a lot darker. I did build, as I sort, kind of like that middle big transition line between the water, the sky, the island, some of the trees. And I did quite a bit of the border as I was going, and it feels like I did a full flip sort. I tried to have the pieces up, spread out, but sorted so I could pick out pieces as I wanted to go. It was tricky, I'm not gonna lie, and some of the water, gave me difficulty, the greenish water. But overall, I really did enjoy it. I felt like at one point I was really using both hands, but then the left hand almost became like a support hand just to kind of keep track of where I was trying to focus and what piece I was looking for. And eventually, it's kind of weird, but when I watch this slower, it feels like there's always a gap towards later on in the speed run where I'm going really slow, like right here. It feels like I'm going really, really slow. But then like the last 5 minutes, it feels like I'm putting so many pieces in so quickly, it's nuts. And perhaps it's what I'm working on in the colors. And I do move around a lot in this puzzle. If I'm having trouble with the tree, let's go to the sky. Trouble with the sky, let's go somewhere else. So I try to not get too stuck, and I move around, and it motivates me once I'm filling in pieces. But look, I'm quite pleased with this time. Managed to finish it under 90 minutes, and it was tricky, not my typical style of jigsaw puzzle, but I'll take it, and I did enjoy doing it. Now this one. I used that black foam board so I could see the pieces and so that it could look well being recorded. Now, I did build as I sorted the balloons, and I tried to flip up and sort all the really lighter colors, the colors that I thought were sky or dog. And to tell you the truth, I felt like I was doing okay with the balloons and the sky, even with the dog. Except when I got to the main dog's body part, that, yeah, I lost the plot by that point. And I did try to sort out like the darker grassy areas, the darker brown, leave a lot of stuff on the bottom of the box until the end. And so to tell you the truth, at one point I thought, oh, I'm doing okay. Maybe I will get this done in 90 minutes. Because here I felt like, oh, I'm not doing too terrible with the sky. It's coming together. And right up until like when I slowed it down and I looked at the footage, about the hour 9-minute mark, I had to pause there and go deal with dogs, Thora outside and run back. But at the an hour 9-minute mark, I felt like I had done really quite well up until that point. And that's when I had pretty much all the easier parts of the jigsaw puzzle done. And then things just came to a halt. From this point on, it feels like I'm not finding anything. Nothing is going anywhere. That bottom part of the dog I found so tricky. I don't know why. I end up sorting by piece shape very early on. And I know there's lighter color pieces that still go in that grass area and the dog area, but I just couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure it out and I was struggling. And it even looks like right now that I don't have that many pieces left and they're all sorted by piece shape, but still takes forever. But then again, the last 5 minutes of this puzzle, it feels like boom, boom, boom. It feels like I put in 50 pieces in the last 5 minutes. I know I didn't, but it just felt that way. I really tried to use my left hand a lot, mostly as a guide, but during the sorting, I'm definitely using both hands a lot more. This puzzle nearly broke me. Oh, I got discouraged and frustrated, but I stuck with it. Sometimes the dogs do interrupt me when it takes me longer to finish a jigsaw puzzle, but I quickly run out, sort them, and quickly get back to it. And I was just seconds away from finishing it in under 2 hours. So close. Now this puzzle, you're going to see I did a full sort, and I actually built the border first. I don't know why. But what happened was, again, I got interrupted by the dogs. I paused my timer, ran out, dealt with the dogs quickly. They were outside, ran back, and I thought I had tapped the timer to start it. When I check the footage and I slow it down, I do see myself tapping the timer, but I missed the button to restart the timer. So, you're going to see at the end of the video, the timer just stops. I did go back and I can accurately check the footage and really compute down to the seconds. It might be a second or two off, but it's close enough to get the time, so you will see the time on screen. The thing was, I was really pleased. I thought I was doing really, really well with this jigsaw puzzle. And I was hoping to have a really, really good time. But because I didn't realize the timer was messed up, I was so deflated at the end of this build because I had no idea how long it took me. I had no idea. I didn't get that instant gratification of knowing my time. And I think a full sort was really good for me for this jigsaw puzzle. And I tried to keep as many pieces just face up. So there you go. I'm just like, oh, I messed up the timer. But in the end, it took me just over an hour, 4 minutes, and about 41 seconds. Let's say plus or minus maybe 10 seconds. But yeah, I really loved it. And I was so pleased with that time. I knew that balloon party was just going to be so tricky. I was so hoping to be under the 2-hour mark, and I'm just like seconds away. Actually, I was quite impressed. I did okay with the sky, but I lost it at that bottom grass area. And I find that once I kind of know the puzzle is difficult and I've gotten flustered, I just lose it. And then I'm like, ugh. And I need to take a moment to just calm myself down to get back on track. But yeah, I was hoping for being under 2 hours because I thought that would be good for such a tricky puzzle, just seconds away. I can't see them giving an individual such a difficult jigsaw puzzle, hopefully not. But something like this could be used for the preliminary rounds for pairs, because the preliminary rounds for pairs, it is a 500-piece jigsaw puzzle. Now, beautiful view, I knew would be, you know, more difficult than what I typically do. It would be a bit tricky, but I'm very pleased. I got in under the 90-minute limit. I was so happy with that. And I did really well at trying to do like the transition lines, you know, sky to land, sky to trees. It wasn't as difficult as I expected it to be. Still not the fastest on those, but I'm very pleased with that time. And of course, as you probably guessed, the Sunday ballet was my fastest time. And to tell you the truth, this is now my fastest Ravensburger, like standard cut time for a speed run. I'm still not under the 1 hour mark, which is fine, but I was so pleased with that time. Now, I have a bit of a spoiler. One of my teammates has finally managed to get under the 1 hour mark. I'm not going to tell you who it is, just in case they do a speed puzzling video and they reveal that time. But one of them finally has cracked the 1 hour mark, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. And so it's a puzzle that I don't have and I haven't done. But yeah, it's just crazy because 1 minute it's taking you 2 hours to do a jigsaw puzzle, and another minute it's taking you just over an hour. And I feel for me, it really is image dependent. Like, even if I could get my hands to move as fast as possible, the image plays such a factor in how quickly or slowly I can assemble a jigsaw puzzle. Alison has been great. She's been speed puzzling these 1,000-piece Ravensburger with me almost every week in preparation, just in case Jeanette and I do make it to the pairs final, and also practice for the team event. It's very interesting puzzling with someone else. So the first one we did right here, and by the way, big shout out to my friend Valme. She lent me, what was it, 5 1,000-piece Ravensburger jigsaw puzzles to use to practice on. This is one of them. This one is called, what is it? Beachfront Getaway. And it's from Nancy Wernersbach. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. This was so much fun to do, and we decided from the get-go that we would sort and try to divide the puzzle into bottom, top. Alison built the top area, I worked on the bottom area, and then she finished first and ended up helping me finish the bottom. What was really left at the bottom was that blanket. And I don't know, that blanket, maybe we were just tired by that time, but that blanket, we just couldn't figure out like how many turtles there were and seahorses, repeated pattern. So it was a bit tricky, but we had so much fun building this. So let me look at my notes. We were so pleased with this time. We did it in 1 hour and 38 minutes. I'm pleased with that because very similar colors, lots of similar blues. So that was a good time. Remember, for the pairs finals, if we make it, we have 2 hours to build a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. So we definitely would have been able to finish this in time. Very enjoyable puzzle, and thanks again to Valmy for lending it to me. Alison has a friend who works at the local Dunedin library, and the library puts out jigsaw puzzles. Now, they actually went and found a 1,000-piece Ravensburger jigsaw puzzle for us, and they put it aside. How nice is that? So we went in and we had no idea what the puzzle would be. Well, they had warned us that they thought it would be a difficult image, and yes, it was. It was the astronomical clock, and looking at my notes, it's Huber Images. So it's an image from 2017. I've actually seen this clock in person, and wow, this jigsaw puzzle was tricky. We knew we had one piece missing, so we definitely couldn't focus on finding a piece that we wanted in case that was the piece that was missing. We sorted the 2 circles. Alison did the blue one, I did the yellow one, and we sorted out the figurines. And I decided I like to kind of check on how we do, especially when I'm not fully recording. So once we had the 2 circles done, the border and most of the figurines, I said pause. And we know when we say pause, I pause the timer and we pause for a minute. And about the hour 6-minute mark, if I remember correctly, we had all that done. We only had like the grays, pieces with blues on it, and light grays, the brickwork remaining. And we were trying to decide how long it would take us to finish the jigsaw puzzle. Well, it was tricky. And I do think after a point you do get tired and you lose your momentum. And we definitely had to sort by piece shape really early on. But looking at my notes, it took us a total of 2 hours and 46 minutes to finish that jigsaw puzzle. I would hope they wouldn't give something so difficult for the pairs final, but I could see something like this given to the team of 4 though. It was a difficult jigsaw puzzle, but thank you so much to Alison's friend at the library for setting it aside to us. And I have to remember that 2 people doing such a difficult jigsaw puzzle in under 3 hours is still an amazing time. So it was good to practice. It's good to practice out in public where there's different noises and things happening around us. It mimics very much a competition setting. So that was a lot of fun, even though, it took a long time. We were worried that the library was going to shut before we had finished it. Next, we did one of Alison's jigsaw puzzle. Beautiful, colorful illustration. It's called Most Everyone Is Mad, and it's by, let's see, Dean McAdam. Now, looking at it, I thought at first, oh, this will be easy and fun. And then the more we looked at it, we thought, ooh, this could be a little tricky. So we did sort, and we basically gave me all the pieces to the lower left characters. Alison took all the pieces of the lower right characters. We sorted as best we could pieces that had the tree. There was those limbs, they're all red and twisty and turny. And then we had a pile of unknowns and a pile of darks. And it was a lot trickier than I expected. I wasn't convinced after a while that we would finish in under 2 hours, because it was difficult, but lots of fun. We both loved it. In the end, we managed to just squeak it under the 2-hour mark at 1:52, and I was so pleased with that. I could see this level given to pairs in finals, like such a difficult puzzle. There was so much to look at, and I'm not sure if it was on this puzzle that Alison made a comment, but I do agree that sometimes speed puzzling a puzzle, you're kind of like, oh, I bet you I would have really enjoyed doing this puzzle just for fun. So she often goes back and redoes the puzzle just for fun. I'm not sure if she's redone that one, but I could see her doing it. And I do agree that sometimes I'm like, I bet you I would have enjoyed the jigsaw puzzle more if I would have just taken the time to build it. So you can really see the pieces and enjoy them. So that would be the type of jigsaw puzzle that I would love to redo, because I think I would really enjoy it. It's my style of whimsy and fun, but it was a bit tricky. We almost didn't make the 2-hour mark, but in the end we did, and I'm very pleased with that. That was more difficult than we both expected. The next jigsaw puzzle we did was another one that Val May lent me. This one was actually brand new sealed. She lent it to me new and said, you can do it first. This one is called Tropical Island Charter, and it's from Jason Taylor. Love this type of illustration. Now, you're going to see the time lapse because I did record it. I did film this with Alison. Just remember, she doesn't like being on camera. I'm trying to work on my setup for Worlds. I have a clamp that I've mounted at the end of the table, and I've tried to record the entire table, but you mostly will just see my end of the table. What I've done now is that I've ordered an extended rod to use so I can get my camera higher up to be able to see more of the table. Just note that when we're at Worlds, we're all going to try to record and get as much footage as possible and share the footage. So there is a chance someone else may have a camera set up on the other end of the table. But also, we don't want our cameras to interfere with our puzzling. We don't want our setup to interfere with any other puzzlers. So we will try to capture the best footage possible, but that's why this footage, you mostly see just one end of the table and not the entire jigsaw puzzle being built. But let's watch the time lapse and see how we did. So this will kind of be the view that I will have when I'm recording at Worlds, but I'm hoping it actually will be a lot better because I did order that extender arm to get the camera higher up. Now what happened, we just divided this image down the middle, and Alison was sorting and she'd give me pieces for my side, and I was sorting, I'd give her pieces for her side, and that's how I ended up. We both ended up pretty much like a full flip method. I think her side was a bit easier to sort, so she kind of had piles of sky, of the mountain and the trees and the water. At the top there by the box, those are border pieces and a bit of the outside of the charter boat. And then at the bottom, underneath the box, those were pieces of the outdoor decking area. I thought I was really going to struggle because this is basically like a full flip. We basically each did a 500-piece puzzle. But you know what? I just told myself, pick one area at a time, focus, go through your pieces, and pick out what you need. And I did quite well. I was actually quite pleased that I didn't struggle as much as I thought I did. At first, I even said to Alison, I said, "Oh, Alison, there's just pieces everywhere here. This is not me." But it worked. And maybe because it was such an easy, like busy image, there was a lot to pick out. I did find this wall a bit tricky with the darker brown and the lighter brown and the curves in it. That's what I left to the end. Now you're going to see as we're trying to join up the jigsaw puzzle. That's always a bit tricky, and then we finish it off. But it was such a fun puzzle to build, a fun image, enjoyable, recommend it, and we were so pleased with our time. 1 hour and 13 minutes. That was awesome. Now, even though I had so many pieces, it was like a full flip for me, like a full flip. And at one point I was like, "Oh, Alison, I don't like this. They're just fully flipped up all over the place." I said, "Stop, calm down, focus on one area that you're working on, grab those pieces and build." And you know what? I'm so pleased. We did really, really well. We basically divided this puzzle down the middle. I worked on the inside of the charter boat. She worked on the outside. And it is now our fastest 1,000-piece Ravensburger time at 1 hour 13 minutes. I couldn't believe it because I honestly thought at the start with all those puzzles just fully turned up, I was like, "Oh, this is going to take me forever." But maybe puzzling with someone else is more calming for me as opposed to doing it on my own, because I was like, "No, just stop." And I was like, look for the floor, look for the rug, look for the wall. I was able to focus better. I don't know why. I was just in a good mindset, and it didn't bother me to have all those pieces fully flipped up. So we really, really enjoyed doing this jigsaw puzzle. 1 hour, 13 minutes for just 2 of us. We're very proud. That's our fastest pairs time so far. I feel that Alison is a very comparable puzzler, I think, to Jeanette. So I'm hoping when we get to Spain and Jeanette and I, we're each going to try to bring a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle, so we can practice pairs and then also practice with Juby and Vicky, because none of us have puzzled together. So it could be a little chaotic, because I've been seeing tons of posts from all the teams that are going, and they're practicing together and they're doing awesome. Well, you know, for us, we know we're not going to win, and that's totally fine because we're going to have so much fun. And I'm glad we're arriving all a few days early so we can puzzle together, because Alison and I have definitely gotten better at not like knocking arms and hands and working around one another. It's a skill to speed puzzle with other people and having multiple hands in the pot. We did talk about this one because we were wondering if we had, say, a third person. Would it help go faster? And yes, I think it would, because mostly I did this, she did all the outside, and this like outside of the boat was left to the end, and she ended up building most of it and then I helped. But if we would have had a third person, perhaps maybe when we sorted, my piles could have been better sorted, and that person could have perhaps built the outside of the charter boat. So we do think it could have gone faster if we had a third person. I do wonder sometimes if some puzzles, like this puzzle, 3 or 4 people, the more the merrier, because one person could just tackle sky, one person could tackle grass, one the dog. Yes, for sure. The more people, the better. But then I look at some other puzzles and I wonder, 4 people, are you just going to get in each other's way? It's so image dependent. That's just my personal opinion. I just feel that speed puzzling is so image dependent. What do you think? Leave your comments below. So now I have my fastest 500-piece standard cut Ravensburger speed puzzling time at 1 hour 4 minutes, and then my fastest pairs 1,000-piece standard cut Ravensburger time with Alison at 1 hour 13 minutes. We're so very pleased with those times. I'm so happy. But when it comes down to it, this trip to Spain is so much more than any potential prize I could win, because let's face it, I know I'm not going to win any. But just the community support that I've received, I mean, Wood Solutions allowing me to have my jigsaw puzzle display up indefinitely, going there, speed puzzling with Alison, you know, Wendy always keeping an eye open for puzzles whenever she's out shopping at the thrift stores, Valmay lending me brand new jigsaw puzzles to do. And remember Adele, she sent me a ton of 500-piece jigsaw puzzles from Ravensburger to practice. And Alison taking her time to come and practice with me all the time. And as well, I mean, Jeanette, Juby, and Vicky coming to Worlds with me, making a team. And we're so busy right now. We're working on hopefully our shirt logo designs and who's bringing what, and just the setup for filming and sharing our footage together. There's just been so much more that I've gotten out of creating this YouTube channel and practicing speed puzzling to go to Spain that it's almost overwhelming. I'm just so appreciative. I just don't know how I can possibly say thank you to everyone for everything that they're doing for me, getting behind me, even the library, you know, putting puzzles aside, allowing us to come in and speed puzzle right there. It's just, oh, I don't have the words. I really don't know what to say. It means so much to me. And all of you watching, liking, commenting, that really helps the channel grow. And extra shout out to the members who provide that little bit of extra financial support means so much to me. And especially my husband. I really got to give it to my hubby, Kelly. He has been nothing but amazing, supporting me in this crazy venture of being a puzzler. I just don't know what to say anymore. It all means so much to me. I'm not sure how to end this video. I'm starting to feel a little overwhelmed with everything. I'm excited because the trip's coming up. I'm excited to meet Jeanette, Juby, and Vicky, and to meet all of you who's coming to Spain. Make sure to come up and say hi. Leave your comments below. Let me know. And I just want to say thank you to everyone for everything and all the support and encouragement I've received. It's completely unexpected. And I don't know what more to say, but thank you, thank you, thank you. From this point on, I'm going to try to pre-record a lot of videos. I think my schedule for September may go down to 1 video a week, some pre-recorded videos while I'm in Spain. And remember, for me, it's actually quite a long trip. I'm gone for like 2 weeks, and like 4 or 5 of those days are pretty much only travel. So when I get back in October, there may be some pre-recorded 1 video a week only until I recover from jet lag and get back into making videos. So I will update you all on the schedule for videos. For members, you will definitely get a September member-only video. And while I'm away, I'm going to try to do a lot of community posts for them, for the members, and the odd community posts for everyone to see as well. I won't be able to do the early releases, though, while I'm in Spain, because I'm going to schedule them to release. I don't want anything to go wrong if I'm in Spain and I can't properly access the account. But yeah, I'll give more details on all that in the coming week or two. But yeah, I'm just trying to do the best I can at speed puzzling, and I'm proud of how far I've come because, oh, I still remember the first time I tried speed puzzling. It wasn't all that great, but I'm having so much fun. I'm really enjoying it, and that's why I do it. I really do it for the love of puzzles. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. For the love of puzzles, I hope you enjoy my videos. Please consider subscribing, and until next time, ciao!